Shauna, what was the biggest takeaway you guys had coming back from Columbus?
There's so many things after breaking it down, evaluating, breaking down every possession, of just continuing to how we can put 40 minutes together. First quarter was good, start of the second, and then we went on a big scoring drought, and I think it was a 15-1 run in about 6 minutes without scoring. And you guys know that, you can't do that against anyone. You can't do that, especially against Ohio State on their home court. So we're getting the right shots. We break down every single shot, every single possession. Should I have called something different? Should we done this? We got layups, and we gotta build a finish, and we will. A lot of that just comes from the confidence. So I got to do a better job of just continuing to, instill confidence in our players that you've made a layup. Like I told them, since you've been probably 4. So just be confident, play free, and then we had a great fourth quarter. So, a lot of things to learn. It's about the consistency, possession by possession, of putting it all together on both ends of the floor.
Is it all surprising to you that you guys have been on kind of the wrong ends of those runs in those last two games, not the last two high major games you guys have been in?
I mean, you want to be on the other end, but they're both, again, they're really good teams. And Ohio State's just they're a different monster with how they play and their press. It's different. Kentucky, there were some things that were probably more frustrating with that game, just because that style, I think, matches up with us a little bit better. But in both those games, we've struggled to score. And that's been, that was been a kind of like, okay, I didn't think we would struggle to score early on, but in both those games, we missed a lot of layups. So that's kind of the biggest thing is finishing.
Knowing
Jen,
the way that you coach this team, though, in those 2 games when shots haven't fallen, it just seems like you have a maturity on the defensive end to still get stops. And I know that was a problem last year. And so that seems like once the water turns back on, you guys are set to go.
Yeah, and that's always, you're right. That's how we've always been. We gotta hang our hat on defense and rebounding. You look at Ohio State. I told our kids we don't even have to beat them on the boards. We just gotta stay close. We out-rebounded them. We had 19 offensive rebounds. That's an amazing feat against a team like Ohio State who rebounds at a high level. But we had 17 points from that. We have to capitalize on that. They're working their butt off to get those offensive rebounds. Now we got to capitalize. We need 19. We need more than 7 points, and we know that. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I still think there's spurts where in Ohio State, I thought we did let our offensive lack of production kind of lead to some breakdowns, but then we regrouped, which we did not do that last year. So take that as a positive.
Jen and you both just kind of referenced getting the looks you want, but how do you maybe battle that frustration and maybe that pressing that comes along with maybe not seeing those shots fall for the team?
That's a great question, and I think a lot of that is just individually, it's the mental piece of it, right? And every player's different with that. And some of them would come to the bench and what am I doing? No, and I don't even want to get too technical. It's a great layup. You're going to make them. I don't want them hesitating. Now they're kind of overthinking it. Just go up and lay it in. So it's kind of that confidence mental piece of it, because we are getting there, and some of them are wide open.
Is that more or less frustrating that you're getting there and you're getting what you want versus not being able to get what you've scouted for?
I think you look at it both ways, because we're like, yeah, I'm happy, like we're getting the shots, but then it's like, well, man, we're getting the shots, but if we just capitalize on those, we probably win at least one of those games. So it's, you got to stay even keel about it, because at the end of the day, the main thing is it would be probably worse if we weren't able to get the shots, and we're taking a lot of bad shots. We came up with maybe 4 bad shots that we would categorize in our last game. That's a pretty low number for us. Literally, we missed 20-some layups, and we'll get better at that.
With this stretch of games coming up, stepping away from high major, what do you hope to gain besides obviously victories?
I just think getting kind of our momentum back offensively. We're at home, and I thought we were scoring well at home, and then we went on the road and we kind of lost some of that scoring momentum. So just getting to a rhythm, get some confidence, and back offensively is really what I want to see. Hopefully it all starts one game at a time. It starts tomorrow. Doing our job for 40 minutes. Don't worry about anything else. Consistency and momentum offensively.
Gretchen was listed as questionable. Is she getting closer to returning, and what's that process going to look like for her?
She's day to day, and she won't play tomorrow. I'll just say that. We're really trying to get her feeling and feeling as best as she can for Big Ten play. That's our number one, obviously, priority, right, is conference play. So, and that'll lead to great opportunities to get Barry, who had a great game, I thought, for her first college game and hadn't played in a month, and really did a great job against Ohio State. She'll be able to get a ton of minutes and reps at both the 3 and the 4, which I think is going to be huge for us going into Big Ten play.
How impressive was that, just to get her going, or, get Barry out there? And could you have maybe not anticipated that, or what you kind of make out of her performance?
I knew I was going to play her, and I knew, especially with Gretchen out, that she was probably going to have to play a lot. So I went into the game wanting to play her early and often. And I said, I was kind of like, it could go one way or another, right? I mean, that first game in your hometown, she had how many people there? You could either get so nervous and really, or you could go out there and just play. And she just went out there and played and was very efficient. I said, I'm so proud of her in that. In a big moment, a big game, I thought she played really well.
What can that do for you guys to have her back and available?
It's huge. Right now, every healthy body is a blessing. And especially Barry, who's versatile. She can play 3, she can play 4. Bryn and KB right now both of them are logging a ton of minutes. So now Barry can go and I can put her at the 4, we can give KB a break, I can bump Bryn to the 5, and then kind of vice versa. So that Barry being back and her being able to play both positions will give me more flexibility of getting some people some breaks.
Jasmine seems like she's been a spark off the bench.
Yeah.
What have you seen from her since she's been back?
I just love how hard she plays. I mean, we had hustle plays and winning plays in our we always do that in our film sessions after games, and it happened to be she's on almost every one of those. I mean, she's diving all over the place, just hustling, not giving up on plays, and that's winning plays, that's winning basketball. And I think that's just continuing to lead to her confidence, her being comfortable out there within our offense, within defensive assignments. I'm just super happy with her progression, her growth, and even for being out a couple weeks. I thought she kind of came back and she picked up right where she left off.
Are you liking her evolution on ball in terms of what you're asking her to do?
Yeah, I think she's done a great job, both offensively and defensively. Offensively, we've asked her to play some point, and she's going to have to continue to do that. And then she's also been, done a great job off the ball at the 2 guard. And then defensively on the ball, I think she has made huge strides in a short time with her on the ball defense and her ability to get through screens. Her and Makaira, I think right now, are at an elite level of getting through screens, not getting screened, and that helps our defense so much. We're not having to show as much. Some of that pitch back action and all that, we're not getting hurt on as badly because of those two's ability to get over screens.
As frustrating as the Kentucky Ohio State games were, how frustrating you sounded. If I flipped it and you guys weren't getting stops, would it be even more confusing and frustrating for you and your staff right now?
Definitely, because that's something that we can control. And we say that all the time, control the controllables. You can control your defense, you can control your effort, you can control your attitude, you can control your rebounding, your discipline to get bodies on people. So those are controllables. And I'm really proud of our maturity and growth defensively and our consistency in that. Much better job as opposed to last year. Last year, as you guys know, we were way more inconsistent on that end. The offense will come and go. Defense travels. So yeah, and again, I even told our team that, you look, we lost 2 games. We're 7-2. By different matters, we're a top 25 to 30 team. And we lost those games not shooting well, playing pretty solid defense, and again, not on our home court. So if you look at it from like the whole picture, and I gotta kind of do that sometimes because you get so frustrated and and the little things, we're in a pretty good spot. Again, our 2 losses have come to 2 of the best teams in the country. So now we got to continue it one at a time. But I think overall, we're in the spot that I probably, would have even thought we'd be at. We only lost one of those tough non-conference games, so we beat the Florida State. So I'm happy with where we're at. Obviously, I want to be undefeated, but we keep learning, keep getting better.
Makaira as well as anyone probably on the planet. How do you keep her level, or I don't know, maybe you don't have to do that with her through kind of this slower start?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are, saying it's a slow. So I think she's maybe not scoring as much, But I see growth in so many areas of her defense and her consistency and, the defensive effort and facilitating and some of those other things. The scoring will come with her. She's also kind of been in and out some days of practice. So that's kind of, that leads to it's hard. It's hard to get that rhythm, but I see a lot of growth in her where maybe some people don't, because I also am around every day, am evaluating every day, kind of knowing the ins and outs of everything. So with her, I just keep telling her to be the person you are and the player you are and go out there and just be you. I'm trying not to put too much pressure on her. She's one of the best players in the country, and it'll all come. And until then, you just keep defending and keep being a leader and keep working your butt off. So I'm super happy with where she's at.